Shalom, call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachakwadash Shani Kabbalah Walla Rakwab Zaquanyim Nawa Washalayakim Nawa. That's the belongings to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom Wabarakim Labakanyim Shaliasharala. That's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And as always, may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon all the brothers that are still offering their bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. So this is just going to be another video concerning wars and rumors of wars. I made one last week concerning this similar topic, but it's kind of different. This one is going into basically how China and Russia are basically mocking Donald Trump and mocking America. And as we're going to read in the article, they're just outright boldly coming against America, making statements that they would have never done or said rather 20, 30, 40 plus years ago. But we're at the point now where these nations are getting tired of America and they don't want to put up with this bullying anymore. And they're openly stating it, and they're joining themselves together. And this is all biblical prophecy, and we're going to read this article, hit a few paragraphs, and then read some scriptures, and I pray that this is edifying to the elect. So the article on express.co.uk says World War III fears spike as China and Russia mock Donald Trump in bold move. And I tried watching the video earlier, but it's not working. It's probably just because this site is just filled with 1,000 ads. But anyway, we'll just read. It says, as relations with Beijing hit a low point, the two states claim the U.S. government has lost its mind, morals, and credibility. And this is once again kind of what I brought out through the Spirit last week. It says China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi made the comments during a phone call with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. So you had China's Foreign Minister talking to Russia's Foreign Minister. Following the conversation, China and Russia released a joint statement bashing the Trump administration's behavior on the world stage. So openly out in the public, no shame, no remorse. It says they accused President Trump and his inner circle of burning bridges with allies and foreign governments. And this is nothing but biblical prophecy. Let me read that again. They accused President Trump and his inner circle of burning bridges with allies and foreign governments. What we're going to do really quickly is we're going to come back to Isaiah, but we're going to read Obadiah, of course. Obadiah, only one chapter, and we're going to start at verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy, meaning all of your allies, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding. But basically, all of America's allies, or those that were confederate with them, we're now seeing that they're in the beginning stages of really looking at America and looking at Esau and saying, you know what? We're tired of taking this man's BS. We're tired of being bullied. We're about to, let's leave this man and let's join up amongst ourselves. And the time is going to come where World War III, and we know World War III is right around the corner. And all those that were Confederate with America, they're going to join themselves together in World War III, and they are going to destroy America with nuclear missiles. And that's all biblical prophecy. We need that to happen in order for this current kingdom to go down, and in order for the kingdom of heaven and righteousness to be established on earth. We're looking forward to this. Of course, as the hopeful elect, we have faith that we'll be delivered from that great destruction. So continuing on in this article, it says, Wang took a swipe at the Republican leader, Trump, who is hoping to be reelected on November 3rd. He said the U.S. has reverted back to its Cold War mentality and is stirring up tensions with other world powers. But you know what's going to happen? As they state that U.S. reverts back to its Cold War mentality, then this is going to come into play. The book of Ezekiel, I believe it's 38. Now, when we read this, it talks about Gog and Magog. Now, right here in Ezekiel, Gog and Magog is referring to Russia today. Now, we're going to jump all the way down to verse 4, now that you understand that this is speaking of Gog and Magog, which is Russia. So verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army." This is referring to Russia. And when the Lord said, "I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws," this is basically Russia getting back into that USSR mentality. The same way they're saying America is reverting back to that Cold War mentality, well, Russia is going to revert back to that USSR mentality. And it says, "Put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords." So Russia is going to get their military ready. And then verse 5 goes into allies, nations today that are going to be confederate with Russia. It goes into Persia, which we know is Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, so on and so forth. And then even verse 6. But it's not just America that's getting back into that, I'm just going to say, old school mentality. All right, continuing on, it says, "He also blasted the America First policy, which Mr. Trump has pushed since the early days of his presidential campaign and vigorously pursued since entering the Oval Office." During their chat on the phone, Mr. Wang told Mr. Lavrov, "The U.S. has bluntly pursued its America First policy, pushing egoism, unilateralism, and bullying to the limit. And that's not what a great power should be about. The U.S. and America is a great power. The U.S. has resorted to extreme measures and even created hotspots and confrontations in international relationships, has lost its mind, morals, and credibility." This is a quote. This is a quote that they openly put out. I'm going to read that one more time. "The U.S. has resorted to extreme measures and even created hotspots and confrontations in international relationships, has lost its mind, morals, and credibility." What we're reading about right now is what the scriptures talk about. When the scriptures say we need to be watching as well as praying, these are the kind of things that we should be watching out for. Matthew 24, verse 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." And that's the point. No further reading or explanation needs to be, stated. What we're reading right now is wars and rumors of wars. The U.S. has resorted, continuing on. No, we read that. Mr. Lavrov told his Chinese counterpart that America had torn apart its disguise and is now openly threatening countries with sanctions. And that's the point right there. That's all we're going to read. But what we're reading is nothing more than wars and rumors of wars, prophecies being fulfilled of America's allies that were once confederate with them, basically saying, look, we're tired of your BS. We're tired of being bullied. And they're cutting ties with America. And then also, we're going to jump back now to the book of Isaiah, because I did have it up initially. We're seeing this prophecy really come to pass as well. Isaiah 14. Now, when you read verse 12, it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" Lucifer right here is referring to Esau, Edom, because they do have, or they claim that they have all the knowledge. "How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" And Esau, Edom, who runs America, which runs the entire world. Remember, America is that whore that's spoken about in Revelation chapter 17 that sits upon the beast and that oversees the waters, and the waters is the people. So America is right here being referenced in verse 12, that weakened all the nations. Verse 13 says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north." And that's what they do have currently right now. They're overseeing, or basically they have the chosen people in poverty and slavery right now. "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Now the point is right here. "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" And when we read in that article about how China and Russia were talking together, and then they both came out with a joint report going on Esau and going on Trump, going on America, that's them basically considering, like it says right here in verse 16, which is the point. They're considering and they're saying, is this the man? Is this who we really were getting bullied by? Now, they're going to really be saying that when America is destroyed in World War III. But we're seeing the beginning stages of them considering America and looking down upon America and saying, look, we don't have to be bullied anymore. We don't have to be allied with them. We can join up against each other. We can be allies with each other. And let's come against this whore that did once at one point shake the nations and made the earth tremble. So I just wanted to bring this out just to show that prophecies are taking place. You may not feel like things are moving super, super dumb fast, but when we read certain things like this, it should basically increase your faith and give you that much more hope just to keep fighting and going harder, because prophecies are taking place. The Lord is moving his chess pieces in accordance, and all we have to do is report on it, sit back, watch, pray, fast, do what we got to do, and just wait for this destruction. So with that being said, I pray that the elect were edified. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Akakodash. The belongings to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.